I think the same thing could happen with AGI. It might not. I might die. I can't control that. And so I've mapped out my options. I'm like, okay, either I am going to go try to develop an AI, and I'm going to have to go back into this like building world where I'm like, okay, now I'm doing 20-hour days and like just trying to hustle through this and catch up with Sam and Elon and you know, Google and Zuck and all that, and past them, and it's going to take the rest of my life, and I'm going to be like thrown 100% into that. It's going to pretty much take over all my time. So I could do that. I could. I might not succeed. I probably won't because I have so many resources, but I could. Or I could go work for one of these companies, right? And say like, okay, my goal is to get in and be one of the top AI researchers at like, you know, I wouldn't go to Facebook, but you know, who knows, OpenAI or something. Yeah. I could do that, I guess, you know. I don't pretend that they're just going to take me, right? But like, if I really put my mind to that goal, I do believe I could do that. But then, or I could go and be depressed and, you know, become a shell of a person who's just like waiting for the AI apocalypse to destroy me. Or I could go and do interesting and cool things with people around me, using AI. And so I kind of look at those options and I'm like, okay, option one, I'm not guaranteed to win the AI race. A lot of people are trying to do that. Probably won't win it, but maybe I will. And even if I do, I might not have control of the AI, right? It might still kill me. Number two, I could go and work for these companies, but I certainly won't have control once I win, right? Like even if I help them win, I won't have control. I have to pick the right company. How do I know they're not a snake? I don't know. So I might still get killed by the AI, right? I could be depressed and then I spend the rest of my life miserable. That sounds awful. So my option is really, I've laid all this out. I'm like, my option is to make cool things with it and try to impact people's lives in great ways and believe that it's going to be this sort of thing like nuclear weapons where we stave off the danger and we get nuclear power and it's awesome, you know, and there will be some casualties, but it's going to be amazing and it'll be a better future. Like if we can get the nuclear energy future right, oh my gosh, our world's going to be so much greater. And I have a vision for that greater world, and I have a vision for the greater world with AI as well. So that's what I plan on doing. That was it.
No, and I love the background and the way that you broke down how you chose positivity throughout that. You know, you still have multiple different options, but you chose to make a positive impact in something that you can have a little bit more control over, but yet takes you into the space that you want to be at into the future. And that is a testament to some of your story and some of the things that you've learned throughout, you know, just even building catapults and trying trial and error, right? Okay, that didn't work, totally. That didn't work. Now I know how to break down a problem and really attack the right solution the way that I want. And that leads me to my final question, I guess, for you today is as you've thought about your story, excuse me, as you thought about your story, your background, kind of what's gotten you to where you are today, how has that shaped your definition of success a little bit? And what is your definition of success?
Okay. So my definition of success is living a life that you enjoy living with people who you enjoy being with. And I think that success ultimately means two things. One, having a vision and moving towards it consistently, right? Having a vision you're excited about and moving toward it consistently. And it means pivoting as needed, right? And it's actually the process of doing that is so fun and so engaging. It's not the result of that, right? So I was just as successful by that definition when I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor and having spiders crawl over my head. And I was excited about what I was doing. I felt energy as like when I work on these bigger initiatives in a more comfortable setting. Today, I'm just as successful now, right? So So it's always going to change, right? Like I could lose everything tomorrow and have to start over, but I could have just as fun a day, you know?
I love it, yeah.
So I think there's that. I definitely think that the way we frame things is everything, right? You could, let's say you get together with somebody and it's a new relationship, you know, and they're like, oh, do you mind taking out the trash for me? You're like, take out the trash. Yes, I can. You know, and, you know, then you're with them for, 5 years or whatever. And they're like, do you mind taking out the trash? And you're like, fine, whatever, you know, like, yeah, okay, sure, I got to do this, you know, like it's the same circumstance, but it's two totally different mindsets. And so for me, I think it's all about that mindset of like, this is fun. This is really fun. And this is really engaging. And that is what I think, knowing that you are going to be able to pivot and adjust and ask for help when you need it. Other people are going to be around for you, like having a support system, all that sort of thing. I like the quote of like, a bird on a branch feels secure, not because it has faith in the branch, but because it has faith in its wings. And so I think that's really how I see it when I go into this future of like, I don't know if this branch is going to snap, but I trust in my wings. I trust that I'm going to be there. I'm going to be able to figure out how to fly. And I also know that I feel a lot of vision and energy being there for other people, because I know as the world gets more uncertain, people feel more fear and more anxiety, right? And when I felt fear and anxiety, people were there for me. They were. And I'm very excited to, like, as we walk into a world with uncertainty, fear, anxiety, a lot of this whole AI discussion is like, oh no, what if there are no problems for us to solve anymore? We're going to have a lot of problems. When we have abundance, it creates a lack of purpose. When we have abundance, it creates an uncertainty of which option you should pick. It creates this just sense of like, everything everywhere all at onceness that you can't untangle. And I'm very excited to be there for people in the middle of that. So I'm pretty pumped about it.
I love that choice of mindset and the idea that you have faith in the next steps, even though you don't know what it might bring, but you can uncover it and tackle it. So thank you so much for coming on the Engineered Success Podcast. It's been amazing having you here. And I know that there's been a lot of insights that you've dropped that are going to help a lot of people throughout their journey, not just through homeschooling and through maybe mission work, but also through AI and how to tackle that, and having the right thoughts about how they can tackle that problem for themselves. So thank you so much for being on, and it's been great having you here.